competition has been named. It's 2 out of 3 falls. And the opponent will be the very impressive, the very physical Brian Brock. Brian Brock versus Dylan Drake. This is the outcome of the Poison that Rick Luxury and Marcus Mack have chosen for the Gold Rush Heavyweight Champion, Dylan Drake. Bell is rung or underway. Dylan Drake ordering these fans and paparazzi to take pictures of Dylan Drake. I'm sorry, of Brian Brock. Again, when it all comes down to it, the most important factor in professional wrestling today is mind games. That's a KG quotable. Take that to the bank the same way Dylan Drake was just taken to the mat. Dylan Drake is the man who climbed to the very top of Gold Rush Pro Wrestling and the holder. The holder of the beautiful championship belt. He is your Gold Rush Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. But this may be the challenge of his career. The strongman, Brian Brock. Corn-fed, tough, country tough. Taking on San Francisco's own, the golden boy, Dylan Drake. 2 out of 3 falls here, so these men are going to need to pace themselves accordingly. Powerful closed fist. This is unfortunate. Now we've got Rick Luxury and Marcus Mack stalking the ringside area here. Trying to interject themselves into this match. Let's let the competitors compete. Look at that cheap shot by Brian Brock. Another example of an athlete so talented, he doesn't need to take these shortcuts. But when your friends, when your clique includes people like Rick Luxury and Marcus Mack, when those are your homies, it speaks a lot of you as a person. It doesn't speak well of you. It speaks poorly of your character, Brian Brock, to be associated. Much like that elbow to the face. Hurt your face. Oh, God. Double knockdown. Felt like Freight Train for a moment there, describing how an elbow to your face hurts your face, but I digress, because Dylan Drake is winning the battle. Throwing those elbows, throwing those forearms now. Utilizing that midsection spear. Whoa, Brian Brock with that clothesline. Lights out, Dylan Drake, lights out. Doesn't even hook the leg. Doesn't get the 3. Dylan Drake fighting back, wow. Brian Brock very, very tough with those fists. He can throw some very hard punches. I don't know what it is about people from the country and people who live that country boy farm style life, but it involves just picking up cows and suplexing them and punching grains of silo and silos of grain, and however you want it to be, fans. Wrestling fans, juggalos, punk rockers, ninjas, free thinkers, and wrestling fans from around the world, we welcome you to Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. This is the Gold Standard, September 21st, 2013. I am your boy KG Kevin Gill. If so inclined, you can follow me on Twitter at OG Kevin Gill. Much like Dylan Drake followed up those kicks to the knee with a punch to the face, and now ascending those ropes and driving those punches into the head. Brian Brock, not enough though. Brock fires back. Wow. Last time I was here, I saw Brian Brock take on JR Kratos in a Falls Count Anywhere Pacifica street fight, a match that changed the very face of pro wrestling in Pacifica, not just for one night, not just for one season, but forever. Battling outside the ring here, Dylan Drake. It's a very even fight, back and forth, even though Brian Brock obviously has some size and strength advantages. The heart of Dylan Drake does not allow him to compete at any less than 200%. Ooh, driving his head into that steel rail. The Golden Boy has been taken down a notch here. You gotta think whoever gets that first fall is gonna have a lot of momentum on their side. Brian Brock, no, setting him up for a clothesline. Oh my God! Brian Brock was setting him up there. He ended up taking a shoulder tackle right into the steel ring post. There's the second one, caught his head as well. In your face on a cold steel of a ring post. Cold steel of the guardrail. The cold steel of the guardrail often becomes hot from the hands and the sweat of the fans that clutch it, that bang on it, that smash that ringside barrier to support the action you see in this ring tonight. For Gold Rush Pro, Dylan Drake. Was he taking time to eat some nachos here? Attempted to throw a punch with those nachos. All that food from the concession stand does, of course, support the Ingrid B. Lacy Middle School Band. The art form of wrestling pays back to the art form of music, and that's one of the many reasons why I'm here to call the action for Gold Rush Wrestling, one of my favorite companies in the world today, bar none. Dylan Drake, your Gold Rush champion, taking on Brian Brock and just unleashing those blows. Dylan Drake, Irish whip into the corner, reversal. Whoa, Dylan Drake takes that bump hard. Whoa, Brian Brock missed the spear. Now for the third time. For the third time, his shoulder hits that ring post, and Dylan Drake is tearing at the hamstring, tearing at the quad, trying to cripple the man, trying to ground the man, trying to attack those tree trunk-like legs to set him up for this. Cinches it in. Got it locked in, beautiful sharpshooter. Unbelievable, Brian Brock got to the ropes. Dylan Drake's got to break the hold or risk disqualification. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Brian Brock's got a steel chair. Brian Brock's got a steel chair. What just happened? Wait a minute. The first fall is awarded to Dylan Drake by disqualification. This was a setup. This is nothing but a setup. Dylan Drake eating those chair shots like they were nachos from the concession stand, but unfortunately, oh my God. Rick Luxury, now I can hear him from here threatening fans at ringside. Dylan Drake may be concussed. His back and his head caved in by those chair shots. And now this match is going to continue. It's 2 out of 3 falls. Dylan Drake has 1 fall, but he can't even get to his feet. This is despicable. We're back underway here. Wait a minute. Oh my God, caught him with that F5. Textbook execution. Brian Brock, 2. We're now tied to 1-1. They are tied at 1 fall each. It's sudden death. In 2 out of 3 falls, each man has won a fall. The winner of this next fall wins all the marbles. Dylan Drake is in trouble. Dylan Drake has always been a fighting champion, taking on any challenge. But again, I must question the tactics of Marcus Mack, Rick Luxury, and now Brian Brock. seemingly unable to engage in a fair fight, to engage in traditional pro wrestling combat for a championship. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, the better man leaves with the belt. It's not about how many people you have at ringside, it's about how much heart, how much intestinal fortitude, how much dedication and commitment you have to this sport. Brian Brock in control now. Another devastating clothesline as the head of Dylan Drake bounces off that canvas. Dylan Drake in trouble. Brian Brock just stalking him, standing over his prey. Look at this arrogant cover. Sparky Ballard's gonna count. Wow. Very, very close. Dylan Drake is in trouble here. He's gonna need all the support of these fans in attendance in Pacifica to rally back from this. Dylan Drake goes up. Dylan Drake comes down hard. Backbreaker across the knee of Brian Brock. Now Rick Luxury in there giving advice. Sparky Ballard being very lenient in what he allows in this match. Been a lot of questionable conduct so far. What's he going for here? No! Dylan Drake's fighting back. Distracted by the photographer at ringside. They insist that no photos be taken. But that's photographer George Ansensio. He's allowed to take all the photographs he wants. He's an invited member of the press, of the media, here to shoot for Gold Rush Pro Wrestling. And quite frankly, that's whether Marcus Mack and company like it or not. Take a look here at the raw strength of Brian Brock. Paul Adams and the camera crew don't miss a shot here at Gold Rush. But Dylan Drake fighting back. No! Oh my God! For a second, he was back in that excruciating bear hug, but Brian Brock turned it into a belly-to-belly suplex. Dylan Drake is down, a look of anguish across his face. Only one more fall to go in this match. Winner takes it all, that Gold Rush Heavyweight Championship belt. Brian Brock goes for the cover, hooks the leg. Not enough to get him. Says no. Sparky Ballard in there checking. The last thing Dylan Drake wants to do is quit. But sometimes it's almost better just to quit than to risk permanent injury, to risk paralysis, to risk losing your career. This is the gold standard, and this is for the Gold Rush Heavyweight Championship belt. But Dylan Drake, it's not worth your career. The arm falls twice. One more time. One more time. No! One more time and the ref would have been forced to consider Dylan Drake unconscious and ring the bell, but Dylan Drake indicating he is still in control of his facilities, or his faculties, and his facilities. He's here to fight, he's here to bring that belt home. No, just wrenching that spine. Dylan Drake is in trouble. Brian Brock now. Brian Brock going after Dylan Drake. But Dylan Drake fires back. Kicks to the stomach, kicks to the leg, kicks to the chest. He'll take the wind right out of you. Beautiful drop kick. So nice he did it twice, driving Brian Brock back into that corner. Whoa, big splash, but no, Brian Brock caught him. Brian Brock caught him back in that bear hug. Driving him into that mat, that turnbuckle. Fans crowded up here on the guardrails by the commentary position, momentarily distracting me from my duties. But I digress, I'm back in the zone on the microphone. KG calling the action. Gold Rush, the gold standard of professional wrestling. Brian Brock, Dylan Drake for the title. Drake perched up high, high cross body, signature maneuver. Took a bit out of the wind out of his own sails there. Knocked himself silly. The atmosphere is electric. What has Rick Luxury got in his hand? What is going on here? One more disqualification and Brian Brock loses this match. No honor among thieves. Oh my God. Brian Brock winning via disqualification. And of course, no need to remind you, the educated, articulate fans of Gold Rush, title belt does not change hands on a DQ. No honor among thieves. The alliance between Rick Luxury, Marcus Mack, and Brian Brock was obviously short-lived. This is only one half of the Pick Your Poison double main event, as Dylan Drake has often also chosen the opponent and the stipulation for Rick Luxury.